are talking about the most important part of our business, prospecting and doing it right, in fact, fanatically. And we started with almost 40 people in the room, and I've got 17, up soon to be 18 here as we hit chapter 5. You guys were supposed to cover 3 and 4 yesterday. Optimist, you got that? Man, I love this chapter. The more you prospect, the luckier you get. And there's some pretty cool things in this chapter about what is happening in people's lives based on this topic. And as always, it's your guys' room. This is a mastermind, not a coach conversation. So what do you guys have?
I really, I like the replacement principle. And I think that's chapter 5, where he was talking to Becky, and her 10% for batting 100 with 30 people in her pipeline, and how then after she closed one, now there was actually 10 less. The interesting thing to me that I was kind of pondering on that is, do you really know which 9? Or you need to get 10 more leads, but now you also have 9 zombie leads in there until or unless you figure out some way to weed those out. So I'm curious anyone else's thoughts on that.
Well, I like this replacement theory and how it ties into real estate. For those that are in my coaching world, is the pipeline piece. Because I count the pipeline as a signed buyer broker agreement or a signed listing agreement. And most people have about a 50% close rate from pipeline to under contract. So we use a 2-to-1 as a rule of thumb. So if you intend on if you know your magic pending number, and we've done that analysis for you, and to hit your goal, your magic pending number is 3, that means you need to have 6 signed agreements at any one time to make sure 3 is consistently happening. And to get 6 signed agreements, you might have to have 60 leads, using their example of this 1 to 10. Let's just say instead you're 1 to 5. That means, think about this. If we're going to do 24 units this year, 24, 25 units this year, all we have to have is 3 pending at any one time. That's the math. Which means 6 pipeline at any one time. And keeping that there. Which, if you're a 1 to 5 ratio, means 30 true leads that are talking about wanting to do real estate. We think we find one person talking about wanting to do real estate, and they're going to close, and if they don't close, we get upset because we haven't done enough prospecting. Yet what she's saying in this case, Justin, is if we move somebody from pipeline to pending, we need to get 2 more pipeline because we have a 50% conversion rate. So we really actually have to go from 6 to 7 in that moment in our pipeline because we have dead wood in there. And at this same point, if you move somebody from your active lead flow of people talking about real estate to a signed buyer agreement, you need to get 5 more people in active conversation about real estate. And if you don't, you're going to live this roller coaster of real estate.
This 30-day rule
is key. Does that make sense, Justin?
Yeah. And that ties into the following. I think that's chapter 6, where he gets into the 30-day rule. And another thing that was pointed out, that the LPP, the low potential prospects, I could see where I've had some of those and spent too much time with them, for sure.
Yep. Well, let's have a little more fun on this for everybody. How many of you right now have 30 active people that are talking about doing real estate in the next 90 to 180 days. 180 days or less. You have 30 people that said in the next 180 days or less, I'm doing something.
180?
Yeah, the next 6 months. Do you have 30 people that are saying in the next 6 months, I'm going to do something? I suspect almost all of you, not all of you, but almost all of you aren't there. Now, let's just say hypothetically, it takes you 25 conversations to find one. How many conversations do you need to have in very short order? In my world, when I got after real estate, when I moved to Austin and had to get production and got 25 listings in my first 90 days in real estate, all day, every day, 8-10 hours a day, 5-6 days a week, was having conversations. I was chasing expireds and for sale by owners because they both had raised their hands and say, we want to sell. They both had an interest in selling. So it saved me. It was still a cold call, yet it was a cold call with history. And because of that fanatical prospecting for 90 days, absolutely whirling dervish level, magically, my business took off and kept going. What else you guys pulling from chapter 5? Matthew, I see your mic's hot.
Yes. So it seems like we touched on the 30-day rule and the law of replacement just now, but the first one was the universal law of need. And ironically, keeping a full pipeline and doing this activity takes care of the universal law of need. But I think one of the key components for us to understand as far as our energy goes and how we communicate with people is people can feel our desperation. So if you need the money, you're more likely to repel people away from you. Just even at a subconscious level, they'll pick up on it. Even if you do need the money, which we all need money to survive, I think it's really important to always come from that place where we don't feel like we need the money. I almost feel like that is huge, not even just with clients, but with EXP, we're going to attract other agents. You can't attract another agent if they feel like you need the money. They're gonna be like, why would I work with you? You need the money. You don't have the money. It's like, so we send off a lot of unconscious clues to people and how we communicate. And so just coming from a place of, like where you don't feel like you need it. Even if you need it, it's like you don't act like you need it. You don't feel like you need it. You work for it. Yes, you still work for it, but you don't have this ick of neediness, like this ick to you that people are like, oh my God, like it just repels people. And this happens with anything, like even people that are like, say you don't have a spouse, you don't have a significant other, you want to go in the dating space. Women, for example, be unattracted to you. They feel this weird neediness about you, like, so it's very similar to that. And it's just like this human nature thing about us. So if we feel like we're this needy kind of like just, people feel on it, and that's going to make it very hard to attract clients and attract potential partners.
Yeah, need equals lack. In some other rooms, we used to hear want equals lack. It really is need, that desperation, that I've got a void that needs to be filled. And then you're focused on the void. You're focused on what's missing, and that's what you're going to bring more of. I want to hear more, though, from you guys on the 30-day rule as well. I saw a couple other mics hot. Doug, you're hot right now. What do you got?
I thought the beginning of the chapter where Dale Carnegie said, action breeds confidence and courage. Go out and get busy. I thought that in the next paragraph, a couple of paragraphs down, he says, top sales professionals spend as much as 80% of their time on prospecting and qualifying activities for one important reason. They want to get up to the plate often and put together a consistent string of singles, doubles, triples, and home runs. So that's what we're looking for. We want to get up to the plate. The only way to get to the plate is to start making opportunity. And that comes from prospecting. So
Hey,
This
Doug,
is
I want you
awesome.
to go back through that. What percentage of their time?
80% of their time is spent
How many by
prospecting.
show of hands are full-time agents? Raise your hands. So how much of every day should be dedicated to prospecting?
80%.
So I'm going to say, I'm going to give you a little slack to make the math easy. 75%. If you're full-time, that's an 8-hour day. That is 6 hours a day of prospecting. By show of hands, how many of you did 6 hours yesterday? Wow. Not seeing much. How different will your life be if for just 4 weeks you test this theory? 4 weeks, 6 hours a day of lead generation for consumers or talent. How different will your life be? Who else is? I've got the leaf blower right outside my door.
I just, I'm grateful for our experience. I'm grateful, for our pipeline and the different things that we have. And, that 30-day, as I was reading that yesterday, it hit me because really we did very little during June and July, just getting through recovery with my mother passing, things like that. And I'm grateful for all that we've learned. And I'm grateful for the book club because it helped me just consistent getting back into the right mindset again. But just knowing that you do the work and you save up for the rainy day, and you never know when there's going to be those hitting, but also the patterns do keep you going. So it's amazing. Sorry, I don't know if that noise is good or not.
What's going on? There we go. Hello.
That's
Go, Dave. I'm attempting
I
to
know
stay off
that-
the mic. That's why I got my camera off. Lead while my leaf blower's out the door, guys. Need your help.
that was interesting. All of us are going to go through some kind of tragedy somewhere in our life. So we do have to be ready for those and have to have backup plans for when those things happen. So, but the pipeline is starting to get rebuilt here. And this is kind of really great timing because that's what we've been doing. Anybody else have anything that stands out to them?
I got something for everybody.
Go,
Who's the solo agent or who wants to build a team? Does anyone want to build a team here? Okay.
Right here.
Okay. Send me every person that you want to be on your team. Okay. Because if you're not making the calls, I'll get them on your team for you. I'll make the calls for you. Okay. Let's build you some teams. And that's what Coach Russ is talking about. Like, let's get after it, guys. I came here in April and I have 15 people in my downline. That's 1 per week. Right now I'm on pace to have 50 by my first year at EXP. And the only thing that I do is show up every day and I do what's asked. I don't prospect 6 hours a day, but I do about 90 minutes every single day, in it, whether it's text messages or phone calls. But I'm really consistent. So if you want to build a team, reach out to me. I'm going to put my number in the chat because I'm as serious as a heart attack. I will recruit the hell out of this thing for you guys. You just send me the names of the people you want on your team, and I'll go get them. Hey, we got a lot of people on mute. What are you guys going to apply from this section, guys? Come on, start talking, get your cameras on, start being alive, start being interactive in this group. If you're going to sit back and take it all, that's great. But we need a couple leaders ready to step up and say what spoke to them out of this chapter. Let's go. Who's got something?
So I'm going to lead. I'll start. And I'm going to say this. I think that we have to stop thinking about what we're supposed to be doing and begin doing what we're supposed to be doing. And that is so simple as get your list of people that you're going to contact, whether it's in your database or business cards that you've gathered, and make connections and commit to yourself. You know, if you're only doing X amount of hours a day, if you're lucky, if you're doing X amount of hours a day, if you just do what this was a very simple law here of getting to a point where you're hitting 75% of your day on lead prospecting. If you just did that one thing, and I know all of us know that, there's a couple things that are going to happen. One, you're going to have more conversations than you ever had in your life. And the second, it's like a fallout from having that many conversations, is you're going to get really good at having conversations because you're going to get to know people and you're going to learn what it is that makes people tick. So create your master list of the best 20 questions you should be asking people. Make it easy on yourself so you don't have to reinvent the wheel each time, and make the calls.
I'm going to challenge everybody. Who's actually talked to everybody on this call?
Nope.
How many people have you guys talked to on this call?
You?
I've reached out to almost everybody on this call, except for maybe Heather and maybe Maribel, because I have not stalked you because you haven't put your last name on the chat. So, but if you have put your first and last name, I have stalked you. So I challenge you guys to reach out to everybody in here, because I know you can probably gain referrals across the country just sitting in here. This is another step. You want to take your business to another level? Cesar is an amazing person in this group. Kim Sakamono is an amazing person. Celeste is fantastic. Get to know the people in this group, guys. Make a connection. You guys want to talk about making a connection with your clients? Make a connection with your people that are going to run through a wall for you. You got this, guys. Be the person that you want to be. Be the person that you want to have send referrals to you. So go out and take that same step, guys. You got this. Come on. Who's next?
So this is Robert. So I was part of a group years ago, and at the end of every one of our calls, we all repeated this saying, and Mr. Wolfpack, you'll appreciate this. It goes like this. Now this is the law of the jungle, as old and as true as the sky, and the wolf that shall keep it may prosper, but the wolf that shall break it must die. That girdles the tree trunk, the law runneth forward and back. For the strength of the pack is the wolf, and the strength of the wolf is the pack. And we used to say that, I mean, just every day at the end of our calls. That was the last thing we ended on. And you're absolutely right, Ryan. If we want to get stronger, we got to keep growing this group right here, this pack, because this is the strength.
Absolutely. See, together we are stronger. Together I put on our workplace chat. I reach out to people. I try to make connections for you guys across the country. There's tons of opportunities for growth. Let's do it together. Let's be our biggest supporters for, in this group. Let's be our roll dogs. Let's get this. Okay. Who else has something from the chapter? Let's finish this thing up, guys. Finish on strong.
I'll say a little something else. There was, and I think that's chapter 6, to talk about the difference between proficiency, efficiency, and effectiveness. And I don't even know what my takeaway is from that yet. Like, it really made me think about the distinction, and something that I need to go back and reread and really understand. Thank God I lived in a hillbilly industrial park. So everyone's got loud cars and trucks like that one. So yeah, efficiency, effectiveness, proficiency with how, the number, how many calls. I think it comes down to quantity and quality. So
Let me ask
I'll
you
leave
this.
you guys with that.
Let me ask you this, Justin.
Yeah.
If you do a whole lot more in quantity, will you get better with your quality?
Yeah, it's just so.
Kim, I see you nodding. Go ahead. Add to that.
Yeah, there's strength in numbers. And here, to all the newbies that are on this call, because I know I have a couple on here, you guys don't have to reinvent the wheel, and you don't have to commit to all day lead genning. It's 30 minutes a day. It's 60 minutes. It's whatever you can commit to at any level to operate on. Make the calls. And here, I had a girl recently, a mentee, that said, she got screamed at. That's part of it. There's the silver lining in that is that you know now how to handle yourself. You know how to control a conversation and guide a conversation, whether it's for agent attraction or for lead genning in general. It's strength in numbers. There's no other way. You make 100 phone calls, you're going to get 10 leads out of it.
Hey, if you have a bad phone call, thank you. You got the bad one out of the way. And now I got a good one coming because I know it's going to happen. It's like we all have to deal with rejection in this business. Like that. We signed up. We voluntarily. We're a little bit gluttons for punishment. That's part of this job, is that we're going to have some less than ideal conversations. And if you don't have those less than ideal conversations, then you've had a blessed life. But I'm telling you this right now, like, find other avenues. It's talked about it. I think it's in chapter 4. Find multiple ways to prospect. Okay. So whether you're doing a home show or networking or door knocking, if you don't want to get yelled at, then go find stuff that people are coming to you. All right. But you're also becoming the used car salesman at that point. If you feel like all you want is people to come to you. So you want to put your spin on stuff. You want to be able to have as many conversations as you can in different ways. So
I'm going to stop you right there.
Yeah.
My husband's a used car salesman, and that's way tougher. But Don Hobbs said something yesterday on our 8:00 phone call, and it really, really radiated with me. And it's, where are you going to find a business that you can design yourself, and the sky's the limit? And I think he said it a little more eloquently, but that was the gist of it. And I thought about it for the last 24 hours. And the blueprints are there, you guys. It's all there. And the sky's the limit. Like, 100,000, 500,000, have it fully automated, build a team out, be a mega agent. However you want to design your big life and build a life by design, it's there.
Absolutely. Who wants a big life?
Every hand should be up.
Heather, I just saw your hand go up. Talk to me. I haven't heard you all day. Apparently her mic's not working today. It's okay. We'll come back to her. Who else wants a big life? Celeste, Don, or Doug. If you guys want a big life, what are you doing to change it right now?
Well, right now, Heather, your mic is in the top middle of the screen. There you go.
I got it. I was trying to click the one on my screen and it wasn't working.
So what are you doing to lead gen, Heather?
Now cloud. I'm new, so I haven't read the book yet. But I'm doing internet ads. I do a lot of posting, a lot of social media stuff, calls. I used to advertise to rent to own, so I do a lot of follow-up with people who didn't qualify before. I don't like door knocking, so I don't door knock. Open houses, when I have a listing, I promote a lot around the open house. And then my sphere of influence, just constantly being in contact with people and talking to people and reminding them annoyingly so all the time that I'm a real estate agent.
Awesome. Well, it sounds like you have some stuff going. How many conversations do you have a day?
I would probably say three to five on average.
And what's your big life look like? How much do you want to earn per year?
I want to earn about 300,000 that is actually like money that I'm bringing home.
Okay. So if you're making 3 to 5 conversations a day, what's your average price point where you're at? Where are you at?
I'm in Atlanta,
Okay.
so
What's
I'm
your
in
price
Georgia.
point?
So depending on like what part of it, it can be anywhere from the average could be like 2 to 5 to like 6 to 8 or even up. But in my area where I work in Gwinnett County, the average price point right now is about 450,000.
Okay. Well, it sounds like you have the knowledge of your base of where you want to go. So at that point, if it's say 500,000, that's 15,000 per transaction. If you're a solo agent, that's about 20 deals. To do that, you probably need to up your game to about 10 to 15 conversations per day. And you got this. Because if you get to that level, you can actually grow this thing like astronomically faster. Because if you're new and you're starting out, you need more practice. It's just more reps. So you got this. Just continue to push it, okay? So let's wrap this thing up, guys. Who's got something to tie us up today?
Hey, I want to say something, Ryan, that I probably should have said like weeks ago. A lot of us have kids, family that we're bringing into the business, or they could use some positive influences. And a few weeks ago at the Build conference, I had my son show up for the men's little happy hour thing. And I just want to shout out to Josh and Ryan and all the guys that were there, because my kid got so much out of it. He's like, Dad, these are pretty good dudes. And he's like, how do you know these people from all over the country? And we talked about, oh shoot, we talked about that. And I mean, as we're going through life and stuff, if we've got kids that could connect with somebody else on this call, guys, let's do that. Let's leverage that, because, you know, although no single conversation can change the trajectory of a life, any conversation can. And so it's like the power of just getting some of these amazing folks here just to influence your kids. And you know, even at the top, Joseph had the opportunity to spend about 10 minutes one-on-one with two guys that are huge in the business, Cliff Freeman and Gene Frederick. And for me, that was priceless. So, you know, if there's anything I can ever do, if there's anything, I know Ryan's a big giver, Josh is a big giver, Russ, all that. Let's plug in, because there's other ways that we can use this network.
Absolutely. Well said, Coach Robert. Appreciate you. Well, looks like we're a little over today. I know